Hello my dear students, I hope you all are fit and fine. In this video, we will study Kingdom Protista. This Kingdom Protista is under chapter Kingdom Classification, which we have started in our previous video. So let us start. What are the characteristic features of this Kingdom Protista? First point is unicellular eukaryotes, means the organisms which are found under this kingdom, their body is made up of one cell and they will be eukaryotes. Then the locomotion is through appendages, means they will move with the help of appendages such as cilia, it is present in paramecium, flagella, it is present in euglena, then pseudopodia helps in the movement of amoeba. Then there is the next point, that is defined nucleus and membrane bound cell organelles are also present. Some protists are plant like with cellulosic cell wall and chloroplast and are called algae. They are autotrophs, means the protist, that is the sum of the organisms under this kingdom, they are similar to plants. They will be having, that is chloroplast and cell wall, and they are referred to as algae, and they are also autotrophs, means they will prepare their own food. Some protists have animal-like cells, that is without cell wall and chloroplast. They belong to protozoa and they are heterotrophs. So some of the protists, they are just as animals and they are not having cell wall and chloroplast, and thus they are referred to as heterotrophs. So some of the protozoans are amoeba, paramecium and euglena. So unicellular algae is Chlamydomonas. These are the names of the protozoans. So protozoans, they are heterotrophic, means they are not having chloroplast and they depend on others for their nutrition. And unicellular algae, these are autotrophs. They can prepare their own food. So here is some diagram of amoeba. Then there is a paramecium and this is euglena. You may observe here in paramecium there are specialized hair-like appendages which are known as cilia, and in euglena only one flagella is present. This means that cilia are present in more number and the flagella is present in only one number, right? Flagella are fewer and cilia are more in number. So these are some of the features of the organisms which are found in Kingdom Protista. Now let us study about amoeba. So amoeba, it is a unicellular and it is found in ponds, ditches and standing water, and it moves with the help of pseudopodia. Pseudopodia are also known as false feet. So the role of the pseudopodia is it helps in the movement of amoeba, plus it also helps in ingestion of prey. So here is the nutrition. The nutrition in amoeba is holozoic nutrition. This means that there will be 5 steps in this type of nutrition, that is, first one is ingestion of food, second is digestion of food, then third is absorption, fourth is assimilation of food, and fifth one is ingestion of food. Let us study them one by one in detail. In ingestion, what will happen? Let us see. So this is, let us assume it is an amoeba and it is having a nucleus, and there is this presence of cytoplasm inside it, and the outer layer is known as cell membrane, and these are known as pseudopodia. What will happen in this ingestion process? This amoeba initially it will pushes out its pseudopodia, means this amoeba it will push out its pseudopodia and it will surround the food particle. Let us see, a food is here, right? So with the help of the pseudopodia it will move towards the food and it will surround the food and it will be forming a food vacuole. This is the first step, that is ingestion. In the second step, we will observe that various enzymes from cytoplasm enter into food vacuole and break them into small soluble molecules. So in digestion process, the complex food, it will be converted to simpler form with the help of the enzymes. Which enzymes? The enzymes, they will be from the cytoplasm, right? And it will enter the food vacuole, which is here, right? So it will convert the complex food into simpler form. This process is known as digestion. Then the third step is absorption. What happens in absorption? The digested food, it will be absorbed by the amoeba, and the simple molecules, simple soluble food, it will be absorbed by cytoplasm, right? Then the fourth one is assimilation. Assimilation means utilization of the digested food for growth and energy. Then the fifth step is egestion. In egestion, when the considerable amount of undigested food is collected inside the amoeba, then the cell membrane, it will rupture and it will throw out the undigested food. So this is the process of the holozoic nutrition, that is nutrition in amoeba. So let us study now multiplication of amoeba. It is by two process. First one is binary fission, then there is multiple fission. The binary fission, it take place under favorable conditions, and multiple fission, it is usually found under unfavorable conditions, right? Let us study first process, that is binary fission. What happens in binary fission? It is a asexual means of division of this amoeba. Here the parent cell, it will divide into two daughter cells of similar size. Now what happens first? This is the nucleus of the amoeba. It will divide first through the process of karyokinesis, right, and followed by the division of the cytoplasm. Then it will form two daughter cells of similar size. So again I am repeating, in binary fission the nucleus will divide first, followed by the division of the cytoplasm, and one parent cell, that is amoeba, it will divide into two daughter amoebae. Then the second method is multiple fission, which is usually found under unfavorable conditions. Here what will happen? The first step is withdrawal of pseudopodia. So amoeba reproduces primarily by binary fission. However, multiple fission is adopted under unfavorable conditions, right? Now what happens under this unfavorable condition? Amoeba, it will withdraw its pseudopodia. It will withdraw its pseudopodia, and in the second step, what will happen? This amoeba, it will surround itself by a hard layer that is known as cyst, and this step is known as encystment. So first step is withdrawal of the pseudopodia. It will withdraw its pseudopodia. Then in the second step, what will happen? That is a hard layer, that is cyst, will be surrounded, and this process is known as encystment. And then in third step, this nucleus, it will divide into daughter nuclei, and finally amoebulae will be formed. And then what will happen? Then this cyst, which is a hard layer, it will rupture under favorable conditions, and daughter amoebulae will be released. Right? So this is the multiple fission which is found in amoeba. So this is about kingdom Protista. Let us study about kingdom fungi. In kingdom fungi, what are the characteristics? It is multicellular except yeast, means the fungi, it is multicellular. The body is made up of number of cells except yeast, which is unicellular. The cell wall that is present, it is made up of chitin, which is a tough sugar complex. Then they are heterotrophic, saprophytic and parasitic. We have already studied these terms. Heterotrophic means they will depend on other organisms for food. Saprophytic means the fungi. It will feed on dead and decaying matter, and parasitic means the fungi will depend on the living organisms for their food. Some of the fungi, they are also showing symbiotic relationship. What is the symbiotic relationship means? Let us say here it is a lichen. It is a symbiotic relationship between blue-green algae and fungi. That one fungi, this fungi, it will provide food, some of the beneficial role towards the blue-green algae, and blue-green algae in return will provide food to the fungi. And this fungi, it reproduces by formation of the spores. So such as Rhizopus, Mucor, these are some of the fungi. This Rhizopus and Mucor, they are the bread mold, and Acaricus, it is a mushroom. Aspergillus, Penicillium and yeast are some other examples of fungi. So the body of this fungi, it is made up of thread-like hyphae, and we will observe here the types of hyphae. So let us say here it is a sporangium. Now what do you mean by sporangium? This is one hyphae, right? So, and this hyphae, it is known as sporangiophore. It is bearing a sporangium, and inside the sporangium there are presence of spores, right? So what happens here? The sporangiophore, it bears a sporangium in which there is a presence of spores. Then the next type of hyphae is referred to as stolons. These stolons, they are running parallel to the surface and they are slightly raised. These are the stolons, right? These are the stolon. These are the hyphae that run parallel to the surface. This is a bread mold upon which this fungi is growing, and this stolon, it is running parallel to the surface and it is slightly raised. Then there are rhizodial hyphae. Rhizodial hyphae, these are similar to roots, and they are formed from stolons at regular intervals. So these are the types of hyphae which are found in fungi. Let us study the role of fungi. First one is beneficial activities. So first one is mushroom. Some of these fungi, they are also utilized as mushrooms, such as Moschella and Agaricus. They are rich in proteins and vitamins, and hence it is very much needed and very much beneficial for our body. So yeast, it is also a unicellular fungus, and it is utilized in bakeries and breweries. Some of the fungi are also utilized in the synthesis of antibiotics, and such as antibiotics Penicillium notatum, this is a fungi. It will produce the antibiotic that is penicillin, and this penicillin antibiotic, which is produced by this fungus, it helps in controlling the disease that is pneumonia. Some of also help to enhance the fertility of the soil. How? These saprophytic fungi, they will decay and decompose the dead bodies of plants and animals, and thus they will convert the complex organic compounds into simple inorganic compounds such as nitrates, and these will be further utilized by the soil, and hence it also increases the soil fertility. Then there are some harmful activities also. First one is human diseases. In human diseases, this fungi is also causing, such as with athlete's foot, vaginal yeast infection. These are the human diseases which are caused by fungi. Similarly, in plants also, there are diseases which are caused by fungi. First one is down mildew of grapes. Then there is late blight of potatoes. These are some of the plant diseases which are caused by fungi. Mucor, Rhizopus, Aspergillus, they also spoil the food. This is all about kingdom fungi. That's all for today. Take care.